Hello everybody, this is Gareth Cahoon Speaks back here with another video. I'd like to hit the subscribe bar and give me a thumbs up if you like the video, or hit the notification bell to be notified when I post my next post. Or otherwise you can look me up and donate to my ministry at garethcahoon3@gmail.com on PayPal to support the charities that I give to and my ministry work. Thank you very much. This one here is about young IDF paramedic reflects on battlefield experience in Gaza and Lebanon and his life-saving efforts and losses. Despite being only 20 years old, IDF paramedic Sergeant Lieutenant has already gained extensive experience saving lives under fire in combat zones, first in Gaza against Hamas terrorists and more recently in Lebanon against the Iranian-backed Hezbollah forces. At an age when her contemporaries worldwide are studying at university, Sergeant L is facing life and death decisions alongside IDF combat soldiers in Lebanon. However, not all life-saving efforts were successful. There was a case in Gaza where I wasn't able to save someone, she told Ynet News while operating in southern Lebanon. There was sniper fire. We reached the wounded soldier. We were the evacuation team, but he died after I saw the cleared for publication notice. I understood there was no way I would let more cases like this pass through my hands. I want to be the absolute best I can be, with as few bereaved families as possible, as little loss as possible. That is my job, Sergeant L explained. She admitted that it is difficult to accept cases of failure when human lives are at stake. It is a feeling that stays with you, it doesn't go away. There was a treatment I performed here in Lebanon, and at the end I remembered that same soldier. It is not something that passes. I think the most significant challenge is accepting that we will not always have something to do. She continued, I can be the best and provide the best care, and my medics can be excellent, but in the end there are things bigger than us, and sometimes you have to accept that. Sergeant L enlisted in the Israeli Defense Forces in March 2024, just 5 months after the devastating Hamas attack on Israel on October 7, 2023. After undergoing an intense training program that lasted over 1 year, she was certified first as a civilian paramedic and later as a military paramedic. I see this role as a mission. I think it proved itself very much on October 7th and afterward. There were many paramedics up front on October 7th. There were also paramedics who were killed. Amit Man and Itamar Shimon, you hear about them. We may not be doctors, but we are 20-year-old kids doing a meaningful job. It is a responsibility, she told Ynet News. About 3 weeks ago, her work became deeply personal when her childhood friend, IDF Sergeant Ben Cohen, was among 4 Israeli soldiers killed in Lebanon. He was a very good friend from home. We studied together all through high school. She recalled, when I arrived at the Reconnaissance Battalion, he was my first friend here. We would come together from home before every entry, sit together, talk, stand guard together. He was an exceptional soldier and he deserves to be remembered that way. He was like that until the very last moment, she added. Sergeant L addressed the challenges of staying focused and professional under fire in the battle zones. It is frightening. On the other hand, I did not come from the combat soldier track. I come from the world of medicine, so I'm kind of programmed to think medicine. In the end, when people are shooting at me, there are fighters around me dealing with securing the area, with fire and with everything related to combat. And I focus on preparing the area for the wounded and preparing the next forces. My mind is organised around medicine and precisely within that adrenaline of fire and an encounter, I think medicine, she said. There has been a surge in the number of female IDF combat soldiers following October 7th. This increase has been driven in part by IDF manpower shortages and the refusal of men There's been a surge in the number of female IDF soldiers following October 7th. This increase has been driven in part by IDF manpower shortages and the refusal of many eligible Orthodox men to serve. In 2025, women made up more than 20% of the IDF combat troops, with female soldiers serving across multiple fronts, including Gaza and Lebanon, as well as in Operation Roaring Lion against the Iranian regime. This is the story of many, many IDF soldiers who fight valiantly on the battlefield for the safety and security of their homeland and their way of life. Answer me this question. Which one of you, if your nation was attacked on October 7th and 1,200 men, women and children, babies put in ovens and burned, would not stand up and be counted for your nation? Only in the UK, where I live in Northern Ireland, has a survey been done recently that stated that a great majority of UK citizens below the age of 30 would not serve or fight for their country. This is a shame and disgrace, because each one of us should be ready to stand up and be counted for the safety and protection of the nation that you were born in, and the nation that you love, and the nation that many have bled for in the past. The youth of today need to shake the complacency out of themselves. They need to wake up and see what world they're living in and realise that the left is leading them down a path of destruction and apathy. We need to stand up for our nations that we love and protect them to the very last. This is what happened in World War II when the UK fought off the Nazis. Today, the nations of the world could be all German, and most of the citizens of the world would have probably been interned in concentration camps if we didn't meet Hitler's precise specifications for what he called as Aryan, the Aryan race. If you had blonde hair and blue eyes, you were a good one, but if you didn't, you'd be lost. This IDF soldier at 20 years old fighting for her nation. What a stoneheart and an amazing golden Meir in the process of being formed. Women are so strong, so amazing, so brilliant. And the fact that they're fighting on the battlefield, to me, gives me a surety, because a woman brought me into the world, and I could not be more proud of a mother who brought me up on her own when my dad passed away whenever I was just 5 years old. I never went without one thing because of a strong, independent, loving mother. And now I've got a strong, independent, loving wife who cares for me on a daily basis, 24/7. And they both need an award along with this 20-year-old Israeli soldier who is saving lives on the battlefield for Israel's protection. Shalom, Maranatha, and Hallelujah.